Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving Eve from our house to your house.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Hope everyone is having a great evening, not working too hard, I hope. Getting ready for the day tomorrow. I know with COVID we can't have a lot of relatives over, but everybody that I've talked to is still making Thanksgiving dinner, whether it's a household of 2 or 3.
You already made our pies today, a pecan for me and a pumpkin for her.
Yeah, I got pumpkin pie made today, pecan pie made today, and we're getting ready to do our dressing. I always do the dressing ahead of time if I can, and this year we want to make it using our new Aunt Millie's 1 gram per net slice carb smart bread. So if you want to follow along, you can use regular bread. You don't have to use the low carb bread, but we want to give it a try. So for the recipe, you're just going to need about 10 slices, or I should say a pound. Let's go with that. You're going to need about a pound of good bread, whether you use baguette or whatever type of bread you choose. About a quart of chicken stock. I'm also going to be adding about a teaspoon of better than bouillon to it. Also going to need some onions, some celery, some rubbed sage, and some butter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crumble up my bread into my pan. I have dried my bread out before, and I really don't find any difference between drying it out or putting it in the pan just the way it is. So I just do it the way it is. So I'm going to crumble my bread up in the pan. I'm going to cut up my celery and my onions and get them sauteing in some butter. Oh yeah, and I also needed a couple of eggs. Hubby reminded me my mind's just been through the clouds today. Got to have a couple of those little mother cluckers. Okay, I got my oven preheated to 375 degrees, and I just need to spray my pan. Like I said, with Temptations, you don't usually need to spray it, but I am for good measures because tomorrow I don't want to spend all day trying to clean stuff up. Okay, I've got my bread all crumbled up in the bowl. Now I'm going to put a little bit of butter in my pan, probably about 3 tablespoons, and I'm going to cut up some veggies. All right, there's my onion diced up and my celery. It was 1 medium onion and 2 stalks of celery. We're going to get it into the butter. I don't know how many of you do this, but if you have some celery that you've bought and it's in your refrigerator and it's starting to go bad, if you take it out, cut it up, put it in a bowl of water and stick it back in your refrigerator, it'll last for a very long time. That's something my in-laws used to do all the time, and that's something that we do at home too. So just a little hint in case you guys didn't already do it or didn't know about it. I got my onions and my celery in the pan, sauteing. And I'm just going to add some pepper. Good amount of pepper. We like pepper. And salt. All right. We're just going to let these cook until the onions get a little translucent and the celery softens up a little bit. And because I already did my chicken broth yesterday, I'm just going to take my chicken bouillon and I'm going to put it right in with my sauteed onions and celery. That way it can have a chance to dissolve in there. At this point, you can add other seasonings if you want. If you want to add some garlic or rosemary, thyme, anything like that. But when it comes to dressing for me, I guess because our family wasn't real rich, so my mom used what she had. And it was some of the best dressing. So we just kind of, you hear the old saying, like I mentioned it before, sometimes simple is best. So we're just keeping it simple this time. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that onions and celery make your whole house smell like Thanksgiving? I kind of do. Anyway, we're about done here. The onions are starting to just get a little golden. So we've got them translucent. The celery's a little softened. So we're going to get this off of here and add it to our bread. Okay, I've got my celery and my onions in my bowl now with my pieces of bread. And I'm going to start putting my broth in. Okay, we're going to put some broth in. Oh, and if you guys don't mind, you might want to stick around to the end of the video for a little Mr. Penguin kind of treat. He's just got a little something he wants to say at the end of the video. All right. right now I'm just using a ladle to put this in because I don't want to, I know if I try to pour it in there, it's going to go everywhere except for in the bowl. So, besides that, I may not need all of this broth. We've never used this bread before, so I don't know how much it's going to absorb or not absorb. It
won't go to waste, so we can use it on the noodles.
I'm going to get this stirred up. All right, I had to get me a spoon. I'm going to stir this around a little bit and see where we're at. Oh, yeah. Definitely going to need more broth, that's for sure. I want to get some broth in there because I was running out of room in my bowl.
We're having a full-on Thanksgiving tomorrow. Turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, noodles, coleslaw.
It's going to be a lot for just 2 people, but I called my brother and sister-in-law earlier, and they're doing the same thing. It's just the 2 of them, but...
Yeah, if we have enough leftovers, I'll make my Thanksgiving lasagna anyway.
Oh, yeah. He makes a good layered Thanksgiving Day leftovers layered dish. He calls it Thanksgiving lasagna. But he doesn't use noodles, of course. No lasagna noodles.
No, just leftovers.
Trying to stir with my opposite hand so my hand's not blocking the camera.
Oh, and cranberry sauce. We got cranberry sauce, too.
Yeah. Cranberry sauce. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they actually ordered something in from a restaurant that's nearby.
They're the smart ones.
Yeah, so they're just going to go get that and have that together for Thanksgiving. But my brother was making, my dad used to make as a tradition every Christmas and Thanksgiving, he always made a special fruit salad.
Yeah, it's good too. I wish I knew how to make it.
And he was making some because my niece really wanted some fruit salad, and she's just going to swing by and pick it up and take it home. In exchange, she's going to make him some deviled eggs, and she's going to swing by here and get her Cherry's Jubilee cheesecake bars. And, but my dad used to always make this fruit salad, and nobody seemed to ever get it just the way he did. My brothers tried, I tried, we all tried. Anyway, my dad used to joke it was just because he stirred it with his finger, because he was extra sweet. So, anyway, it's a good fruit salad. I haven't had that for a very long time.
Yeah, I can't wait to tear into the pumpkin pie with the recipe you made.
Hey, that's my pumpkin pie.
I mean, not pie,
you know I share anyway. He ruins his pumpkin pie by putting Cool Whip on it. How many of you put Cool Whip on your pumpkin pie? For me, I just want to taste the straight up pumpkin. I don't ruin it with foo-fooing it with all that Cool Whip stuff.
She made the pecan pie by a recipe her nephew used. And it's one of the best pecan pies I've ever tasted.
Yeah, my nephew, he's a pretty good cook, and he made I always thought my pecan pie was good, but he made a pecan pie a few years back, and it just about put my husband on the floor. He couldn't get enough of it. So I asked him for his recipe, and he shared it with me. He does the cooking in their family, too. His wife, she never has to cook. He does everything. Anyway, I've got my 2 eggs in. Now I'm going to put sage. I love sage, but I don't love it too much. To me, sage is one of those things that's just really bitter. But, alright, I'm going to get this mixed up now. Okay, I've got it all mixed up now, if you can see in there. We put our sage in. I ended up putting about 4 tablespoons of sage, which seems like a lot, but I think with this bread, it just took a little extra.
Yeah, the bread's kind of got a sweet taste to it now.
The bread had just, for being low-carb bread, it just had a little bit of a sweet taste, so we were trying to counteract that a little bit. Put a little bit of garlic powder in here. Otherwise, it tastes delicious, so we're just going to pour it into my 9x9 baking dish. Get all that goodness out of there, too. I say that a lot, don't I? All that goodness. I know. I'm a weirdo. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Ah, all right. That's going to make some yummy, yummy stuffing. I should say dressing. I try not to call it stuffing. I mean, if it was going inside the turkey, then I would call it stuffing. But since it's not, I just call it dressing. But I don't know where my little, you know, the little lid that keeps everything from coming out all at once, the little sprinkle top.
It didn't come with one.
Well, it probably did, but your wife probably took it off of there. I'm just sprinkling the top with a little extra sage. Can't go wrong with a little sage. Even though it's not my favorite, this is the one thing I do like sage in. Oh, walk the heck. You remember watching Walk with Yan? That show from years ago?
I do.
He used to always say, walk the heck, walk the heck. Okay, I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees. We're going to see how well this Aunt Millie's 1 gram carb per slice bread does when it comes to making dressing. So I'm going to put this in there. It's probably going to go for about an hour and 15 minutes. I'll check it. We'll see how long it takes for it to cook. And there's our 2 pies that I made today. This one's my hubby's homemade pecan pie. Lots of pecans on there. He wanted extra pecans, so he got them.
Pecan pie.
And there's my pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. Libby's is the best. I don't follow it exactly like it's supposed to be, but pretty darn close. But that one's mine. I might share a little piece.
I hope so.
He can have the pecan pie, though, because I'm not crazy about pecan pie. 1 for 1?
1 for 1. Okay, this is an anonymous poem I found from a woman's point of view. I just wanted you to think about it tomorrow while you're having your Thanksgiving dinner and afterwards. 'Twas the morning of Thanksgiving, by Anonymous. 'Twas the morning of Thanksgiving, and all through the house I was the only creature stirring, not even my spouse. I was yawning and stretching and trying to come to life, with the food just laying there under my knife. I started doing with a moan and a groan. I shoved the turkey in the oven. It was stuffed to the bone. I just wanted to get this day over and send everybody home before the L-tryptophan coma would not let them roam. The doorbell rang. It was 9:45. My husband stumbled to the door. It was his Uncle Ken. In came his brothers, John, Bill, and Tim, along with their wives, Gloria, Judy, and Kim. Next came his parents, Barbara and Danny, followed by mine, Harold and Fanny. Then through the door flew our niece and our nephew, and bringing up the rear was their old dog named Jelly, covered in fur and really smelling quite smelly. We gathered at the table, all covered in my food. Just a moment's silence, then nothing but the sound of things being chewed. It's getting late, I kept trying to explain. I'm losing my mind, I think I'm going insane. Now the kitchen is covered in dirty dishes and crumbs. No help cleaning up, those lazy bums. I'm glad this only happens 1 time a year. If it was any more, I'd have to stock up on my beer. Now happy Thanksgiving to you, one and all, 'cause I'm out of here. I'm headed to the mall. Well, I hope you liked that. I thought it was kind of funny. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Stay tuned for the dressing. We'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Thank you for the poem, hon. I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
All right, Dr. Seuss.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Green eggs and ham, Sam I am.
Green eggs and ham, Sam I am. Oh, speaking of yam, are you fixing those tomorrow?
If you want me to.
I think so. What do you ladies think? Should hubby fix the yams? Yes, sir. I think so.
I'm doing the green bean casserole and the noodles.
What are you guys having for Thanksgiving tomorrow? Do you guys have any one specific thing that is a tradition every year? Like the video where I did the coleslaw. That's just something that is a tradition in our family for whatever reason. I know it's kind of like an odd Thanksgiving food to put on the table, but me and my brother, we always use the leftover coleslaw. We have slaw dogs,
slaw burgers, coleslaw and barbecue sandwiches.
Yeah. One of the ladies gave me a great idea to put that coleslaw over, I think it was Terry O'Neill, gave me the great idea to put coleslaw over a baked potato. That's something I have never done before, but we do have some pulled pork in the freezer. And I think a little pulled pork and some coleslaw over a baked potato would be a really fine idea. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
We appreciate that idea. So if you guys have something that is a tradition in your family that you actually absolutely have to have every Thanksgiving, leave it in the comments below, because we love reading the comments that you guys leave. We truly do. I always answer to everybody, which I know we don't have a lot of subscribers right now, but that's okay, because even if we did, between the two of us, we would make sure that we gave everybody attention and answered everybody, because we truly appreciate everybody that watches our channel. It makes me emotional, because I'm just the emotional one sometimes. I'm also the one with the big mouth. But I do get emotional, and I'm very thankful that I have friends on YouTube, that my husband has made friends on YouTube.
And Pootie has friends on YouTube.
And little Pootie has friends on YouTube. And we're thankful that you guys are all here, that everybody's been safe and healthy through this stupid coronavirus, which we hope is going to be over very, very soon. You know, everybody keeps hoping for a vaccination. I was reading today that they said while there will be vaccinations, the side effects are not anything to take lightly. So it's a scary thought.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to start going back out and doing things again.
Yeah. We all want to feel a sense of normalcy, and I just don't know when normalcy is ever going to happen again for us. And Christmas is around the corner, and everybody's so used to going Black Friday shopping. And
us included.
Yeah, we're used to being at Walmart since they started it, you know, right after Christmas dinner in the evenings on Thursday.
Waiting at Menards in the big long lines.
Waiting in long lines. While it was stressful, it was also fun. I mean, that's what the holidays are all about, the hustle and bustle. That song wouldn't have been created for nothing, so obviously years and years ago, there was still a lot of hustle and bustle. But it was fun seeing who could get what, and having your family member across Walmart on the other side while you've got little walkie-talkies saying, hey, grab this or grab that.
Yeah, I remember the first year Walmart had those sales. We got the kids, I wanted to get the kids a 13-inch color TV with the remote, and they had them on sale for like $50, which was like really cheap way back then.
Now, mind you, yeah, this was years and years ago.
And I'm a pretty good-sized guy. And I walked up and kept asking where these were at, and the woman pointed to a big pile with about 100 people around it, all of them holding shopping carts. So they blew the whistle, the woman started cutting the plastic off, and these people started grabbing 4 and 5 and 6 of them and stuffing them down in their carts. And I only wanted one TV, just for my boys. That's all I wanted was one TV. So I did what everybody else does. I just walked right through the line, waited through them, and pushed everybody aside, grabbed one TV, put it over my head, and told everybody to get the heck out of my way, because I'm coming back out.
I used to tell my sister-in-law, because one year we went to Walmart, and there was some stuff we wanted to get. And, of course, I'm a big girl. My sister-in-law, she's not. She's about 1/3 the size of me. I told her, I said, stand behind me and hold on to my shirt, because here we go. And we were just plowing through those people at Walmart, not hurting anybody, mind you, but just trying to do what everybody else was doing and trying to get a little bit of the sales, things that we wanted. Oh, speaking of which, I don't know how many of you watch the news or haven't watched the news, but there was a recall on the Crock-Pot brand pressure cookers, I think it was, the all-in-one cookers.
They can come off under
pressure. The lids can come off under pressure. So if you have one of those and you haven't heard about the recall, please Google it and check that out, because they are not safe to be cooking with. There's a high risk for burns. So, yes, just please check those out. We always try to look for recalls at least a couple of times a week online, just to see what may have been recalled and not. So we don't want to see anybody get hurt in Thanksgiving this year. It's been a bad enough year, and we're just praying that 2021 is going to be a lot better. So anyway, sorry to be babbling on. We love you guys. We appreciate you all. Every one of you holds a special place in our heart. We love getting to know everybody and hearing your stories about your life and things that go on. And we hope that we can continue this even long down the line. So Anyway, as soon as that dressing gets done in the oven, I will bring it out and we'll see how that low-carb bread held up in a pan of dressing. Hopefully it'll be just as good. There you have it. There's our pan of dressing. Baked up real nice, just like any other pan of dressing would. We didn't let it go the full amount because I'm going to stick it back in tomorrow and let it finish. But I did get it to 160 degrees, which is what the recommended temperature is if you make it the day ahead of time. So, looks pretty darn good to me.
It's good to meet you. I'm ready to eat now.
So, we hope you guys all have a very happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you in our next video. Bye, everybody.